We
The
got rid of.
charitability is insane.
So let's take the right out of this because the right doesn't care about misinformation.
Okay.
If we took
well,
every
the left doesn't either, unfortunately, right now. But yeah.
Well, let's.
What?
I think that like principally, the right doesn't care about misinformation. Leftists, I think, just.
But like, this is what it means. What is the right? Like, who the fuck is? You know what I mean? Like, what is
it's not just either. I respect Destiny for jumping into the whole. Yeah, they're both like that. So if you want to label one side, because you determine this through examples, and Vaush has decided I have enough examples to paint the entire team as not caring about facts. And Destiny's response is like, I have enough examples for the other team, so I guess we got to say that about them too, right? Vaush is like,
It's even, but up until this point, he's been making the argument that the left should lie. What the fuck?
To advance their position.
What the fuck?
That's honestly a fantastic point.
And then he's saying no, the right doesn't care about lying, but the left does. What the fuck?
Well, and now we're coming down to: is it bad that the right are unaware of their lies or something, versus the left who are apparently being corralled into lying?
He just said that they principally don't care, but Vaush is the one who principally believes that as long as you get to the end, it's all good, whatever you do.
Totally.
Right. So, like, principally, he is right wing, and his well, not principally right wing, but like the same principles as the right.
He's principally conservative, according to his own definition.
But again,
this
like, if
crazy.
you didn't. If by his logic that what's wrong with the right way is that like they don't even care about misinformation, they just go with whatever they want. They're like, so like they need to be taught what it is to be misinformed or doing misinformation. But Vaush's principle is like, no, that's fine as long as it's in with a good thing. Like it's the fundamental. Once again, the two differences. Like who is worse here? The one we need to talk to the right and tell them that misinformation is bad, or the left who are like, no, we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, wait, what? You know?
Well, this is like if you looked up like projection in the dictionary, there's going to be a picture of Vaush sitting there, just projecting all of his thoughts and opinions onto his ideological enemies, saying this: we have to fight them with fire, guys.
I think I made this point when we did our little live stream during the week that if you live in this world that Vaush thinks exists, where the right wingers are just they're knowingly lying to everybody all the time. It makes sense that he would think, oh, well, we have to fight fire with fire. We have to lie as well. Our lies have to be better than theirs. But that's functionally not the world that we're living in. So
right. Well,
and of course, they'll just respond the same way. If you're like, our lies have to be better, it's like, okay, so their lies are going to have to be better now too, I guess. Good job.
The arms race of lying.
You know what's cool? And you know what? It's just such a fucking lie, all of it is. If someone comes out with a brand new channel, they're well-informed, they've got a good voice, they speak well, they've got 0 subscribers, and they start making videos just... They take videos like this, and it's almost like I'm describing you guys right now. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, thank you.
I like it. Thank you. Full endorsement. I love it.
No, you're terrible too. You all lie.
I liked it better before. There was a turn there that happened that I didn't really like, but let's keep going. What are you saying here?
So like if a new content creator, like I said, it ticks all of the boxes of content creation and strictly reports as fair and balanced as possible, they're probably going to gain an audience pretty quickly, actually.
I don't know. We have that discussion. Yeah, we have that discussion a lot. Yeah, on whether or not that would happen. Like, I think the partisanship will blow up faster.
There's going to be a ceiling for them. No, I know. There's going to be a ceiling for them because there's the fans that... So the way it works, right, and I feel like this is kind of reflective of EFAP sometimes. It's like, if we got no fans, shit on TLJ. Well, you got all the people who don't like TLJ. Shit on fucking Wonder Woman. It's like, okay... So you will have gained a few people who hated Wonder Woman, but now you may have lost a few people who loved Wonder Woman and hated TLJ. And it's like, And then it's like, what do you do next? To praise The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's like, okay, so now you may have lost the people who think that's one of the worst shows ever and gained a few of the fans from them. But then you shit on something, I don't know, major and controversial, like Wonder Woman 84. And it's like, you may have gained a whole bunch of people who have no idea about any of your other takes, and so then they just carry on, and your audience is all fluctuating all over the place all the time. And so the people who like that guy's first video where he's like, Kyle Rittenhouse was absolutely in the right, it's like, oh, you get a bunch of people for that. And then his next topic is something that they completely disagree with. It's like it gets complicated if you're extremely, dare I say, objective about your approach to all of these different topics. Meanwhile, someone like Hassan, is he not like the most successful now, or is it Tim Pool? Is it between those two?
I feel like it's between Tim. Well, I guess they're two sides of like the like on
The
one
spectrum.
side and then the other, right? So like Tim Pool is the right equivalent and Hassan is the left equivalent, where it's like very almost team oriented. There's like the team or the side or like this one position.
I think Tim Pool is more objective than Sitch does. Sitch thinks Tim Pool's way more right than I do.
No, see, well, no. I think Tim Pool is the crying walrus. Okay.
Oh my God!
Well, so
my
do you.
God.
That's everyone in his audience knows that that's true, because whenever Tim Pool says,
when I watch his videos,
wait.
I can never find an example though.
Whenever
I'm
Tim
not
Pool
calling.
says,
I am not calling Tim Pool the crying walrus. I do not.
whenever
agree with
Tim
that.
Pool says it's complicated, that's a magic code word, which means he knows that there's some nuance there that maybe his audience, which is primarily right-leaning, won't want to hear.
He stood
and
up
so
to-
he's saying it's complicated and moves on.
I don't watch a lot of Tim Pool videos, but I have watched videos where he stood up to his audience on the Stop the Steal shit. He did. He completely.
If
So
you're
I mean,
gonna-
you have to give him points for that, because
I
I've
do give
seen
him-
channels that have just blown up massively, just buying, like selling copium to their audiences about the Stop the Steal shit.
I am very hard on Tim Pool because I feel
Yeah.
like he betrayed me. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess it's
I feel like he
complicated,
was the
right,
chosen
because
one.
He
He's
stole
Anakin.
your
He was-
girlfriend? What happened?
You know,
I mean,
he was
tell
the
us.
chosen
This
one.
sounds interesting.
Tim Pool was Anakin, and then he turned to the
I
dark
thought I
side.
was. You told me I was the chosen one.
No, I'm
What's
sorry,
going
I'm
on?
sorry, Adam. But no, yes, Tim Pool's not. He's not the worst that there is. Obviously,
I think it's definitely complicated, right? Because when it comes to like political,
Where's my Tim
When it
Pool
com-
beanie?
when it comes to political commentators, there's kind of like I think there's 3 tiers. So there's like your hardcore, very honest and earnest like political commentators, which I think
Right.
Destiny falls into that camp without a doubt in terms of just being like earnest and clear in his position.
He'll burn every
Then there's-
bridge if he thinks
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
right.
If he believes he's right. And then there's like in the middle, which is where I think Vaush probably sits. And I think Tim Pool probably sits there as well. And like Hassan, where they're like earnest in a certain sense, but they will avoid certain topics or avoid talking about certain things or downplay things or play up
Right,
things
right,
depending on
exactly.
the team
Yes.
and like the goal. And then you have like your entirely dishonest people who I'm not sure who I would cite for that right now.
Yeah, don't
But
throw
I'm
anyone
confident.
under the bus.
No, I know that'll be controversial.
Well, Movie Bob would
depending
be
on who
one.
I'd- Do you think?
Oh,
Movie
yeah,
Bob
we're-
is
we
just-
can
Movie
throw
Bob's
him under the
absolutely
bus.
fucking
Oh,
insane.
Mike from PA. That's one of the ones I would put in.
Mhm.
Wait, why did you hesitate on Movie Bob? He's possibly the most insane political commentator on the internet.
Do you think
He's-
he's lying about everything though? You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
is he a true
lying about
believer?
everything is-
Is he a true believer? That's a
Oh,
Yeah,
distinction.
I
that's
didn't
what
realize-
I'm talking about.
Wait, so what? Yeah, I was gonna say what?
Oh, my
you
3
think they're-
tiers are honest,
Yeah, we're
mostly
talking.
honest, but they're willing to bend their rules for the team, and then totally dishonest.
But Mike from PA believes in the system, right? He's just not got any integrity.
Yeah.
It's
Shit,
very-
yeah, that's
it's
true.
super difficult, I think, to figure out. Like, I think there's very few people in this world that are like, I'm 100% grifter. I don't believe
Well, I mean,
anything I'm saying.
Yeah.
Oh my
well,
God.
I guess
Like,
I
even-
guess maybe Dave Rubin might be like the one I put right at the bottom.
Oh my God.
I don't think Dave Rubin is like that. I think he didn't have a lot go. He was like the empty vessel, so waiting to be filled.
Maybe, yeah, you might be right that he's like just so blank and sort of milk toast that whatever sort of he almost like slots into the
It
political
works.
position.
It worked. He's like huge now. I mean,
What
geez.
about Candace Owens? Because she was like,
Oh
she
my
did
God.
she did that social autopsy
Right.
doxing app, and then she totally flipped.
I even Candace Owens, people always call her a grifter. I think she's 100% in the Vaush camp, which is that she thinks it's totally fine to lie, steal, and cheat as long as you're working towards
Cheal.
what she considers good. But I do
guess
think
it's
she
just-
does believe that leftists and woke people are the root of all evil. I think that's true that she believes.
Yeah,
that.
I guess my thing is like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, what happened between social autopsy, where like, we
Oh,
need
she
to
got
make a
attacked
doxing-
by. I can tell you what happened. She got attacked by Zoe Quinn and a bunch of other leftists, and felt super betrayed by the left, and thus she made her radical change in the other direction.
I just saw somebody say talking about people as highest level conversation. Calm down. We've been talking about ideas and stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we've been talking
don't
about
take the
broader
quote
stuff for, like, 10
so
hours.
literally that you can't. These are all incredibly important figures. We're trying to figure out how they all sort of clash or
Right.
categorize. Like, which is important when
I
you
understand
talk
that
about
you know what Roosevelt's wife said. Like, I'm very impressed.
But I mean, anybody who's purported that line would never agree that you should never talk about a person. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, we're not going to talk about Hitler and Stalin or like all of these most significant political, or even Roosevelt himself. You know?
Yeah.
Well, and I would never bite that bullet. I think it's totally acceptable. I think you should talk
yeah,
about
no, I know.
people
Yeah,
in the
it's
first
just-
place.
Corey in the
Let's talk
chat
about the-
says Tim isn't a grifter, he's a drifter. I think that might be a good
Oh, there you go.
a
He
good
drifts on his,
characterization.
I like that,
because he
yeah.
does
His
he
hat,
does
his
seem to
beard.
understand the complexity of the situation, and he kind of weighs, how can I say this that my audience, I'm not going to lose my entire audience.
Right. Sure.
Right.
But like, he doesn't. I mean, I have heard him take some strong positions against the Stop the Steal stuff, which gave me hope. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Sure.
anyway,
Very good at misleading them.
I don't know if that's true. I think the right is the same. I think a lot of them are very good at misleading themselves. But go ahead.
Okay, well, we can discuss that. But that aside, if we were to get rid of all content which has any misleading elements for the advocacy of liberal or left-leaning politics,
we would have to erase the internet.
That's the argument he's about
I think
to
that
say.
would destroy almost everything. We would be left with NPR-style, incredibly empirical,
NPR, they're biased as fuck. What the fuck is he talking about?
fact-based, dry commentary, high-level academia, accessible only content, and maybe a
No.
couple of people left
This
capable
is-
of threading that line.
Wait, this is a
Wait,
bad...
hold on. There are people in chat saying good. We lose if that happens.
Wait.
I
Lose.
I think that this is a bad
I
dichotomy.
guess that's what I mean, right? Is like,
Why-
man,
You can have content
you
that's
lose
edgy.
If
Are we playing the-
all of,
Why would
pausing
he?
game?
Why would you have just
Sorry.
accidentally said that we lose if it gets empirical?
yeah, like,
Yeah. If
holy
we start
shit, don't
telling the
say that.
truth, we lose. What are you talking about?
It must be consequentialist, man. That must be
Well,
what's supposed to
man,
be
like,
rolled out.
Vaush always talks about optics, but he's really bad at them a lot of the
I
time.
know.
Like, when you say things like, hey, if we go empirical based, we lose. It's like, what do you think that says?
Well,
And this-
To be
This
fair
underlying.
to Vaush, what he means is, if you would ask him, he would say, well, it's because the right isn't being fair.
Oh,
thus
yeah,
They will
okay,
use all
okay.
the tricks.
Yeah,
Oh, I
fair
thought the
enough.
premise was
Boo.
everybody does this, not just the left.
His premise was the right principally doesn't care about truth. And now he's sort of changed that to say, well, if you get rid of anything misleading, all you have is dry, boring, terrible content, which
Who-
is a total false dichotomy. That's bullshit. That's not true.
Who invited the principal of Charity Man to this party? Jesus Christ, Sitch. My God. We were having
Sorry.
so much fun.
Enlightened centrist man just showed up for a second and said, hold on a second.
Jeez.
I want all of these men to be on like a big team, and just also Hitler is there. Like he's just one of the members of this team.
no.
Just you got to balance it out with all these different guys with their,
So
with their
wrong.
choices.
I-
But yeah, there was an implicit in what he just said was that if we take away being flippy floppy with the truth, we take away like being edgy. It's just like, wait, what? Why? Like the entertainment factor is tied to being dishonest. It's like, whoa,
Yeah, that's dumb.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
You can separate hyperbole from actually
Well,
lying to people.
An example: everything you say, start adding swear words and heightened volume to it.
Yeah,
Like,
there you go.
That didn't change the truth. It just made you more angry, and it's
Right.
more entertaining usually.
Well, I mean, this really is their rationalization for just misleading people. You're like, well, if I didn't, then it would just be boring, and then we lose.
I mean, it feels like he's avoiding addressing the main problem by trying to find these consequences as a result of-
Consequentialist.
It's just like, oh, you got to deal with this one now. What if everything gets boring, Destiny? What if
So-
everything gets boring?